So, what does it mean to be seen and heard? I learned the importance of this in one of the most unexpected places. Prison. Imagine that for a second. I'm on remand, waiting to be sentenced by the courts. I'm living in a 9-foot by 6-foot space. Bunk beds, window with bars that doesn't open, table, 1 chair, toilet in the corner, and the door. And I'm in this space from between 19 to 22 hours a day, living with somebody I don't even know. My cellmate at the time was a practicing Muslim, and he would pray 5 times a day. So annoying, I thought. And it's purely because I didn't understand it. I didn't know what it meant to stop everything that you're doing, get on your knees, point in a different direction, and pray to something that was unseen. I watched and I learned. I asked questions about his faith, about his culture, his values, and more importantly, his story. This inmate showed me respect. He showed me routine, and he showed me discipline. And he also showed me that in the darkest of places, people can still carry light. That tiny cell became a place for learning. And I had to ask myself questions and reflect. So, what do I carry? What do I believe in? And what do I need others to understand about me? Let's fast forward a couple of years down the line. I'm in work, got myself a job, I'm out of prison. Now I'm in a team meeting, and I share a concept in the meeting that I believed in that would help the cause. Nothing. No curiosity, no questions, brushed aside, dismissed. Did I not speak clearly enough? Did they not expect to hear something like that from me? Later on in the meeting, a colleague shared a very, very similar concept to the one I shared earlier. And guess what? It was celebrated. It was praised. And it was adopted. I feel wounded. It reminds me how often brilliance can be overlooked. And it also reminds me that sometimes, not that it lacks value, but because it's coming from a voice that isn't given the space. So the sad thing, as a man of colour, I had to learn how to navigate the rooms where I'm seen, but not always heard, and where I'm welcomed, but not always included. But here's the shift. I stopped shrinking, and I started to speak louder, especially for those who feel invisible too. Now, I'm an advocate for diversity and an ally for others. Now, equality isn't about giving everybody the same. Equality is about giving everybody what they need to thrive. Inclusion isn't about just inviting someone to the table. It's about inviting that someone to the table, allowing them to speak, and their voices be heard and valued. Equality, diversity, and inclusion isn't just policy. It's personal, it's powerful, and it's possible. We need diversity, but not as a tick box, not as a slogan, but as a foundation. Because without it, we miss out on innovation, we miss out on empathy, and we miss out on growth. Now I'm going to show you a couple of examples. Some of you may have seen this. This is a piece of artwork created by Pete Codlin. Now, he has drawn 900 faces in charcoal by hand on a replica ship's sail. It's hanging up in Boathouse 4 and Portsmouth Dockyard, if you want to go and see it. Now, this piece of art covers over 2,000 years of local history and diversity. And I want to bring your attention to two people. The gentleman on the left in the Pompey jersey is Lindy De La Fenia, Jamaican-born, first man of colour to play for Portsmouth Football Club. Gentleman beside him, James Albert, his government name, sailor and cook, slave, became the first African to be published in Great Britain. A lot of you won't know this. And look, there's me on the same piece of artwork. I am the first man of colour to have won the Football Blacklist Award, celebrating black excellence in the community and black excellence in football. I was working for our local football club, Portsmouth FC, and Pompey in the community as the EDI. First man of colour to have received a handwritten letter from the billionaire owners of the football club, congratulating me on my award. Huge. First man of colour to have won it in the whole of Hampshire. And I think I'm still the first. Now, I don't do what I do for awards. I do what I do because I'm passionate about what I do. If somebody is watching and decides to give me an award, I'll happily take it. Thank you. So, also, my name is on the Wall of Honour within the Premier League, alongside Marcus Rashford, Bukayo Saka, Raheem Sterling, Ian Wright, Nikita Paris, Alex Scott, Troy Deeney, Tyrone Mings, the list goes on. And we're all awarded for the work that we do outside of football and inside of football. Very seen and now heard. So I continue to be an advocate for diversity and an ally for others. And then one day, I hear this. Yes. Now let's just imagine for a second that everyone of colour went back to their own country. It's going to be difficult for me because I was born here. But let's just say I went back to my own country. What do you think would happen? Society would break down in a hot minute. Retail, hospitality, taxis, construction, all of those services, staff cut in half, no longer here. Sports. All the sports we love, some of the athletes that we love, no longer here. Some of the foods that are imported into the country, no longer here. So what are you going to live on? Fish and chips? And even that's Portuguese. Originated in Portugal. Local services, local shops, no longer here, no one to staff them. 40% of our NHS staff are from different parts of the world. And what do you think would happen there? Even longer waiting times. So we need to be mindful about when people are talking about go back to your own country. We need to be mindful about that. So what would happen if we chose to see and hear people? What do you think would happen? I think we would get on a lot more, happier communities, more education in schools, probably no wars, and it would be a better place to live if we chose to see and hear people. Right, so let's open doors. Let's open minds. And let's build a world where we can see people for who they truly are. Let's also build a world where your voice is heard and valued. So what can you do to see and hear people? And how can you be an ally? Thank you.